Hey, Dave Carley here. Welcome back to another episode of Useful Stuff for Life. These are things that I've sort of found that I've researched and implemented, and they seem to be pretty handy. And so I wanted to share them with other people. Follow me on LinkedIn or Twitter down there if you want to keep up to date with some of the things that I'm sharing. But what I wanted to do today was cover managing family screen time and content. So this is something that I know we've had challenges with, and lots of families have talked to me about is now that we've got all these screens that the kids have, how do we manage how much time they spend on them, and potentially more importantly, what stuff are they viewing while they're on those devices? So these are sort of my requirements. I wanted to be able to control the amount of time that they spent on the devices. I wanted to be able to control what content they were consuming. I wanted to have the ability to extend that time if necessary, or at least have flexibility over having some days less time than others. And I definitely wanted to be able to support all the different devices in my household, which for me was PCs, Xboxes, iOS, and Android. These solutions also support Mac as well. So I did a ton of research. There are lots of solutions out there, but the ones that I sort of landed on was the Circle and the Microsoft Family Safety. So that's what we're going to drill into in the next few minutes. So once you get the Circle, it'll be a little white square, ironically, and you'll need to go through a process. You're going to need the app on your iPhone or your Android to sort of do that process. And then once you've done that, once you've loaded that app, you'll basically pair the Circle device with your Wi-Fi. It's a pretty simple, straightforward process. You're well guided through it with the app. And then once you've gone through that process, you're going to need to add devices. So as you connect to the Wi-Fi, you'll get a notification on your phone saying that that device has been added, and then you're going to need to configure those devices. So let's go through that right now. So one thing I do is I add Touch ID to the phone app so that only I can get in and do that. So let's log in. And then what you're presented with is, this is what I've set up is profile. So each member of my family has a different profile, and what you'll need to do is set up a new profile. So what you can do is go up to the menu up here and say add profile. So let's add a profile for Mary. You can add a photo if you want, and then we'll just say next. Now this is where you can set the filter level. So this is going to control the type of content that that user has access to. And basically the way that Circle works is that it will intercept traffic that's coming through your Wi-Fi router and apply these filters and apply time restrictions, etc. So in this case, we will set this to kid. And then what it does is that it has a number of pre-built applications in the environment that allows you to block or allow. And then you can also block certain categories, stop them from downloading apps, stop them using email, stop them doing online games. This one down here is really interesting. So YouTube restricted. So you can set that on, and basically what that will do is that this is a YouTube feature that basically content that is considered restricted by age group will not be shown. It's not as effective as it sounds, unfortunately, because when I had it turned on, there were some videos that my kids were blocked from that once we viewed them, they were totally fine. So that one's a little bit disappointing. You might want to experiment with it a little bit. Safe search is great. Safe search works with both Google and Bing in terms of filtering out explicit or sexually explicit content from the search results, which is great. So once you've done that, you hit save. And now here you can set time limits. So you can set a daily time limit. So let's just do that. So you can actually set a daily time limit for the person. So we'll set let's say 1 hour. And then if you want, you can actually set a specific time limits for individual apps or categories. You can add different times for weekends. So weekdays can be an hour, weekends could be an hour and a half, say. The next thing you can do is set up a bedtime. So this is, you can't use the devices after this time. So 7 p.m. is pretty reasonable maybe. And I like this one, the awake. I don't know about you, but sometimes, most times, my kids will get up at the crack of dawn and be on their computers at like 6 o'clock in the morning. By the time I've woken up, they've already been on their computers for an hour and a half. So this really gives them an opportunity to, when they get up, go, well, I can't go on my computer, so maybe I'll just keep sleeping, or go and empty the dishwasher or something like that. Although that doesn't happen by choice most times. So that's bedtime. And then this is what you do, is you assign the different devices that you have in your network, that have connected to your network, uh, to that profile, this computer. Right. And so we've set up that profile for Mary, and you can go in and see some of the reporting. So you can see how much time they've spent today on devices. You can go into usage, and you can actually see how they've been spending their time for the day, for the week, for the month. This is the filter that's set up, the bedtime, time limits, and then you can go into history, and you can actually see the websites that they have visited as well during that period of time. One of the other things you can do is pause, which is a very powerful feature. But if the kids are not coming up for dinner, they're not listening, you can just hit pause, and that will shut off their internet connection until you unpause it. Now, if they're doing some great things and you want to reward them, you can hit the reward button, and you could extend their time limit. You could set no off times, no bedtime. So if we wanted to extend the time limit, we could go in here and we'll say, let's give him an extra hour. So he's going to get 2 hours today, and hit send. And that reward was sent through. So the great thing about the Circle is a couple of things. So one, it's a one-time payment. I think it was like $99, and then that's it. There's a lot of other devices out there that are like monthly subscriptions, and I didn't really see the benefit in that, because wasn't quite sure what additional capabilities I was going to be getting with that. I just wanted a solution that was going to be one time. I want a solution that was going to cover all my device platforms. This does that. I wanted the ability to pause. That was really great. The reward was really good. It has great notifications on the phone to sort of let you know when your kids' times have run out, so that you can anticipate the rage of fury that is going to come your way. Uh, some of the things I didn't like about it, that I'm not entirely sure how it could solve, though, is the warning type of system, like warning your kids that they've got 15 minutes left. And of course, it's very difficult for it to do that across multiple platforms. So to get the Circle, go to meetcircle.com website, and you can see that it's available at Amazon, Best Buy, Target, Walmart. Looks like they've got a sale on right now for $89, so that's a good deal. So another solution that I use in tandem with the Circle is the Microsoft Family solution. So as the adult or the parent, you can create a Microsoft account. You can just go to account.microsoft.com and create one for yourself if you don't already have one. If you have a Hotmail or an Outlook.com account or something similar to that, you will have a Microsoft account already. Then you create one for each of your children. And then what you do is set up an account on the computer that they're using, the PC that they're using. so that they log in as their Outlook.com or Hotmail.com address. That will give you the ability to monitor and control their time and their behavior and content that they're consuming on that experience on that device as well. So once you've done that, you go as the parent to account.microsoft.com/family, and you add those accounts as family members, and then you can go in and start setting screen time. So for example, you can create Xbox screen time or PC screen time. You can go in and set how much time each day they'll get, which is very similar to what you can do in the circle. And what I normally do is have it aligned. So the difference is that this one will warn them. This will give them a 15-minute, 5-minute warning before their time is up. And again, you can set the time at which they can turn on their computers or not. This is good because the circle will only limit their internet. So if they figure that out and they start doing things that are offline games or offline support, this will capture that as well. So this is how so I've used this, as I said, in combination with the circle. Ideally, it'd be great if there was one solution, but thus far I have not been able to find something that will do this, what you're seeing here in the Microsoft account and family support across all devices. And that's why I had to combine it with the circle. So in summary, what I needed to do was be able to control the amount of time that my children were spending on screens. I needed to be able to control the type of content that they were consuming, so to ensure that it was age appropriate. I wanted it to be able to support all of my devices, and I needed the ability to extend the time that they were able to spend on them. So I went with the circle in conjunction with the Microsoft Family Safety as my solution. There are lots of other ones out there. This was a really good fit for me and the way that our family operate, and it could be the same for you as well. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, like. If there's anything that you want me to go into more detail in, please make a comment, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.